your chart actually has its own built-in success archetype. So you really were born with this built-in blueprint for success. About it in our book, and we're going to play with it here. So we call it like an astrological shortcut. So most people know about fire, earth, air, and water signs, the elements, but not as many know about the modalities or qualities. That's a grouping. It groups the signs into groups of three based on where they fall in the season, the beginning, the middle, or the end. And it's like the temperament of each sign really is the mode or what. So this is how, how many of you guys have ever done like your Myers-Briggs or your Enneagram? Like these typology personality tests are so fascinating because they work with archetypes and they give you this overarching thing. So that's what the modalities in astrology do. It's often like something that people learn later as they learn astrology, kind of like the houses. It's like, but when you discover it, it's like, oh, that makes so much sense. So we think for when it comes to success, and you need to know like, how should I do it? It's like one thing, three ways. You're going to be seeing some articles from us all summer long too about how to handle some of the things you're mentioning in the chat, like delegating or growing your business or making time for rest and self-care. How is that done for innovators, authorities, and mavens? How does each modality do that best? A lot of the problem that we found with advice for your life, whether it's for love or business or self-improvement or health, is it's like this one size fits all thing, this cookie cutter thing. And like maybe waking up at 5 a.m. There was a book I remember called The 5 a.m. Club a few years ago that our friend Graham told us about. It's like waking up at 5 a.m. is maybe going to work for a certain type of person, but not another. But that doesn't mean that the person who doesn't wake up at 5 a.m. is now lazy and not going to be successful. I was always really bad at getting to work early the very few times I ever worked for someone else. Because I love to drink my coffee in the morning and let the muse come in and sit there and be creative and just not rush off to commute. Like it's like that is such a waste of caffeine and creativity and divine inspiration from the universe to me. Like I'm gonna blow that wad on a subway ride? Heck no. So, but I'm an innovator. So anyway, as we've obsessed over the years and created this kind of body of data from just observing people and matching it to their modalities, we really saw how helpful it is to know yours and what an advantage it gives you to know yours. So 3 subgroups, like I said, let's talk about this. For you are cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. And yeah, like I said, those qualities will help determine your most fulfilling path to success, to productivity, and purpose. I'm reading this book right now called The New Happy, and essentially the author, very interesting life story, says that having a sense of purpose is what gives people real happiness, not something external making you happy, but purpose from within that you share. And I really see all the people who are in the chat are doing things purposefully, from the spa to like you really genuinely, we call you mystics on a mission. You really want to do something that makes a difference, and that's what we're here to support you with. So the qualities can show you not just what to do, but how will you be happiest doing it. That's what the modalities show, because you can have your own business and quit your job and be just as miserable as you were, unless you do it in a way that really works for you. So cardinal signs are the ones that start every season. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, call them the hunters. They initiate, they innovate, they pioneer, and they hunt out new opportunities, a little competitive. The fixed signs are the ones in the middle of the season. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, they're the farmers, they're the cultivators. Maybe the cardinal signs hunt or plant, we could say, for the vegans and animal lovers that we all are. build, produce,
Forage.
sustain, forage. Yeah, exactly. Um, so you cook it up. You make sure that like those resources that are brought in at the beginning of every season, or the new energy, takes hold and does its job, does what it's supposed to do. And then the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, are the ones that end every season. So they're kind of the gatherers, and it's more like the gatherers of people gather around the table because we've cooked up the thing that the cardinal and fixed signs have shepherded in. Let's all now commune and communicate and talk to each other and share ideas and experiences. And that's what mutable signs do. So we're Sagittarius sun signs, which is mutable. But there's a little twist, a plot twist. So we renamed these three modalities because astro jargon is fun, but if we're going to get the masses to adopt astrology and take it more seriously and get to work at places where maybe an astrology advantage is taken seriously by the people running the business, and trust us, it is. We have many clients who are business owners who use this, but it's better to give it a name that people can remember. So we renamed the cardinal signs Innovator, Fixed, Authority, and Mutable, Maven. And here's just which parts of your chart, which planets are used in the I AM system. So if you've used our calculator at astrostyle.com/IAM, um, we decided to use 13 points of the chart: your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, and then the planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And then the lunar nodes, there's two of them: the south node, which is your past lives, and the north node, which is your karmic destiny. We feel those are very important to what we picked these. We love Chiron and asteroids, and certainly would incorporate all of those, but these are the ones that we feel like are the drivers of your kind of your motivations, whether it's your day to day or the bigger picture, or like the fulfillment of your purpose. It's going to give you that happiness. So which one are you?
Basically I
Yeah.
am puts all of those placements in a blender, and that's what you get. I like to say that. So go ahead, Ophi, sorry.
Yes, exactly. Takes them and puts them in a blender and gives you an archetype that you can use. So you only have to remember one, or if you're a hybrid, some of you guys are, there's that too. So now here's the funny part. So your sun sign or zodiac sign may be one of those, but your whole chart can be wildly different. So we're Sagittarius, like I said, which is a Maven sign, a mutable sign, but we're 6 Innovator, 4 Authority, 3 Maven. So our lowest was actually the Maven energy. Now, we think of the sun as the main character in the movie of your life. So it is always going to matter which modality your sun sign is, but your overall dominant modality in your chart is really, really probably going to surface as a huge driver of even how you express that. We may express our Sagittarianness in a very innovator kind of way. So I'm sure it looks like you guys have already been doing it, but here's the URL one more time.
I'm fascinated watching all the different balances of people.
I know, I love it. So this is ours, 6 cardinal signs, which are pioneering and creative. I mean, even just doing the system is kind of something an innovator would do. Like, don't just give me astrology as usual. We're going to innovate something new out of it and do it a little differently. Yeah. And are you a hybrid? Some of you guys are. And if you are, that means you have access to both energies. It's your primary success archetype. Or if you're super high in one, in the book we have a whole thing about what we call Astro Ayurveda. If you're super high, my stepdaughter is always an example I give. She was born she's a Leo, born August 18th, 1999. And in that point of the year 99, almost all the planets were in fixed signs. So 11 of her 13 um, placements are authority. And it's just a Sag rising and Pluto, I think, and that's it. So other than that, it's all Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. And she's a very creative kid, but ended up becoming an accountant and going fully corporate. And I remember she told me one of her professors said, you know, you seem like someone who'd like to have their name on a door, you know, like kind of embossed or engraved on a door. I was like, that sums up an authority to a T. And doesn't sound like a typical Leo. I mean, they do like to see their name in some kind of lights, but like she had the Leo creativity, but she also started a YouTube channel when she was 13 and literally 3 days a week, like clockwork, until she finished high school, would film herself these makeup tutorials, like immediately made herself an authority on makeup, having like seconds after picking up a brush, became internet famous, got noticed, like boxes of, you know, makeup and other swag would arrive at our house when she was in high school. And so it made so much sense.
So, how can you use your newfound archetype this summer, or all three of them, since you might want to dial up one that you're low on? So, for all the innovators and the hybrids, the Innovator Authority and the Innovator Maven, your way to get the astrology advantage this summer is through nourishment. So, why nourishment? Well, innovators live in the future. Our minds, I'm going to say our, because that's what we are, and our heads are always on what's next and what's ahead. But we often get so swept up in our projects that we forget to eat or go to bed late or do just self care rituals, do the laundry. And as a result, our energy can flag or even burn out sometimes. So, next slide, Ophi.
Yep.
Here's a little ritual, a little nourishment ritual. Prep and plate your food and take this on for 30 days and see how you like it. So, how you might do that is pick 3 to 5 recipes that use similar ingredients. A lot of restaurants actually do that. They have these huge menus, but they all kind of use the same core 10 ingredients. Then they only have to get the tomatoes, the lemons, the olive oil, and then create a menu each week. That's something that I tend to resist doing, but every time I do, it's like, oh, yeah, right. Grocery shopping became easy. And then turn on a podcast or a series because innovators can never just do one task at a time. And then chop and prep them into containers. And then you can assemble them on demand. Sorry for the typos. But, take time to plate the food. That's the best part of all. Use your best dishes, arrange it, figure out. You might even, if you're on a health kick, half the plate is going to be greens, a quarter protein, a quarter something else,
And if you hate cooking, go find like a really nice hot bar and get a few things and make yourself a girl dinner.
Yeah, it can be done that way too. You absolutely, if you don't like cooking, but it's all about, it can just be the plating of your food so that you're thinking about what, instead of just snacking all day or grabbing, like actually taking time to put food on a plate can be revolutionary in terms of nutritional value, nourishment, and energy for the innovator. So there you go. Girl dinner. So
it's
authority.
a TikTok trend.
I know. I know. The authority, the innovator authority, or the authority maven. You are going to get the astrology advantage with feelings this summer, or at least during Cancer season. Okay. When Leo season starts, July 22nd, you can move on. But see what happens if you try this for 30 days between the 2 Capricorn full moons. So pragmatic authorities, who are people of mostly Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo in their chart like to stay solution focused. And even though you do have deep feelings, you kind of can set them aside when you actually need to process them. As a result, those buried emotions can intensify and erupt at the worst possible moments. Authorities need to stop, feel, and let the emotions move through and out of you. I know, more feelings for you. So, here's a little ritual: name and claim your feelings. So, throughout the day, or when you start to feel tired, maybe, or when you're like, oh, I can't think anymore. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Or even when you're just like, I can't motivate, there's probably a small well of feelings pooling up that might be draining your energy. So, what you want to do is pause and just ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? You can say it aloud if you don't mind talking to yourself. Those of us who have pets, many of us do, can pretend to talk to our pets when we're actually talking to ourselves. So, I may or may not do that with my dachshund, but write down or say aloud all the feelings, even if they contradict each other. We do contain multitudes, and sometimes you can be, right now I'm feeling happy, stressed, excited, anxious, pissed off at my boss, can't wait to see my boyfriend. All that can be going on at the same time. So just get it all out, authorities, and then just take those 3 deep breaths like we did today and validate yourself and allow yourself to just be. For authorities, are sort of this achievement side to you. So just, it's okay that you had those feelings. You don't have to do anything with them. You don't have to act upon them, react to them. Just let them be. So, okay, next one. Our Mavens, our Innovator Mavens, Authority Mavens, will get the Astrology Advantage with home. Home is your word for the next 30 days. And again, we all have these in us. This is just the first one to reach for with your archetype. But, I'm low on Maven. I might want to dial up a little Maven and work on my house. So, busy, buzzy Mavens go out of their way to make others feel at ease, but may wind up neglecting their own basic needs. When they slip into social overdrive, their homes can turn into pure chaos. Or when they slip into project mode or get overwhelmed by things. So here's your ritual. Oops, it should say Maven at the top. I have the wrong ones listed. So this is for Maven, Authority Mavens, and Innovator Mavens. But the ritual is guest of honor. So what would you do, Mavens, if an honored guest was visiting your home? Visualize that, then clean, prep, sort your home accordingly, pick up the fresh flowers, stock the cabinets with snacks, and then invite yourself to be that guest of honor. And revel in the feeling of a home that is an inviting and welcoming space. Mavens, you are worth it.